afternoon, Lubbock. Welcome to the third ever Dammit podcast. I'm your host of today's podcast, Perry Jacobs, and I'm joined in the studio by
Caitlin,
Jenna,
Austin,
Nick,
DG.
All right.
and Silas.
All right, we got the whole crew here today, full house. I'm pretty excited about today's
You
podcast.
keep skipping on the title. It's Dammit, not another podcast.
That's like the
That's the whole title.
header,
That's the bonus.
the subtitle. It's the bonus Jonas. I don't even know.
address the show by its proper title.
I will next time. I also insist that there's an exclamation point after Dammit. So anytime that's in the visual. Anyways, we'll go ahead and get into it today. I am very excited about today's podcast. If you tuned in on Friday from 2 to 3 for our podcast about James Charles, I gave a little teaser about what today is going to be about, and it's all about color association and psychology, however you want to call that, and I think that it's going to be good. Do you guys have strong opinions about this subject before we begin?
I took a color test about 20 minutes ago. It turns out my color is blue.
That's
so I'm
pretty
very
appropriate.
eager. Yeah, I'm eager to learn more throughout the show of what that exactly means, because I think I got a few words. One of them was directive. One was like I don't remember what any of them were, but I'm hoping that
Cool.
hoping we
Nice.
can expound a little bit on that about what blue means.
Okay. Well, I was talking to DG earlier, and I had to explain this like little insider Gen Z thing we got going on. There's this big debate on social media as to what color folder matches what school subject. So some people say that green folder is for science, the red folder is for math. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we used to do back in kindergarten.
Okay, and
Or high
maybe
school.
still today. Color never leaves your life. Okay.
Look, Nick, back in high school, I just shoved the papers in the backpack and
That's
then
fair.
find them
Yeah.
the next day.
I guess school's mostly digital now too. Anyway, so do you guys have a strong consensus as to what subject goes with what color?
Like what you said, like red is for math,
Right.
and then it was green for science, and then blue. Is it blue for English? I think.
Okay.
I don't know. I always forget what history is, but like
I
red,
totally
This
forgot
was
about
like a
history.
yellow.
yeah.
I always had blue for math, green for science, yellow for English, and
Okay.
I don't know. I guess history was just like black or something, something boring. I don't know.
I absolutely positively cannot relate to this because all the folders when I was in school were manila. Just saying.
Did you decorate them, like write on them, and
Yeah.
yeah,
With
graffiti
our,
them?
with a
with
pen.
our charcoal.
Charcoal. Sticks and we'd burn the sticks.
Your feathers and ink.
Our
we had
ink
to char,
feather, the
we had to
ink
char
feather
our own
pens.
wood in order to make pencils.
Yeah, just burn them in there.
But, yeah, we didn't have, although we had Trapper Keeper binders, notebooks, you know.
Yeah.
We had notebooks and we had spirals, but spirals could be any color. And then if you had a 3-subject spiral, it was whatever the color of the spiral was. So yeah, I can't relate to this because red means stop, green means go,
That's
yellow
true, yeah.
means just go faster.
Yep.
You know.
Or slow down,
No, not so
Depending
much faster.
depending on a certain point of view.
So the reason that kind of sparked this whole idea for me today was that original debate. But for me personally, I also kind of associate colors with days of the weeks or months of the year. But when I was getting ready to do the research for this podcast, I found out that that's not as common as I thought it was. But Caitlin, you said that you did as well.
Yes.
So what color do you think Monday is?
I feel
Black.
You're not Caitlin. She asked me.
We're rowdy today.
It's Monday. We haven't had
Wait.
food or anything. I mean,
When I think of Monday, I think of like I don't know, maybe like a dark green.
Okay, I think
No.
that's a solid answer.
I think so too.
Does anybody else associate colors with days of the week here?
Yes.
What color do you think's Monday?
black.
Okay. I feel like Roy G. Biv, okay?
Okay,
you
yeah,
have to-
same for me.
You have to have that organization as you go. It has to go in order, so definitely
Yeah.
red.
I agree. I was telling DG also earlier that my association with days or colors for months of the year and colors for days of the week all goes back to like elementary school days when they had those posters up in the classroom, and it's like those posters are just burned into the
Right.
back of my brain. And so the same for me. It's like Roy G. Biv is the days of the week, so Monday's red, Tuesday's orange. It goes on
Okay.
like that.
I always think of, I don't know why it's, but like I always associate purple with Thursday
Okay,
for some reason. But
I can see a purple Thursday.
you know, purple Thursday.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like as far as like months though too, I always think about like I
The
guess like
season
yeah,
colors,
the
yeah.
seasonal, but I don't know.
So I was trying to do some research on this as to why we do have those associations. And honestly, it was a lot harder to come by that information. But I did find some other neat color psychology, as, you know, I think most of us know that color can affect your mood, things like that. And they talk about how, like, if you paint a room a certain color to make people feel a certain way, calm or agitated, however that is. But some things I found super interesting was on an article from verywellmind.com called Color Psychology. Does it affect how you feel? It is practiced in a lot of cultures. And one of the other common practices is something called chromotherapy, aka light therapy or colorology. It is a holistic and alternative treatment to different things that happen within the body. So, for example, red is to stimulate your body, mind, and increase circulation. So, I feel like that one's like, you know, kind of standard. Yellow is to stimulate your nerves and purify the body. This one, I think, is the most unique. Orange is used to heal the lungs and increase energy levels.
I would have thought like blue.
Yeah.
For that one, honestly.
So I don't know, when these holistic treatments take place, I don't know if they put you like in a room with that color. I don't know how they even test these theories. Blue is believed to soothe illness or treat pain, and certain shades of indigo are thought to alleviate skin problems. So
Interesting.
I don't know, but I think the people swear by it, and I definitely think if psychology is just one of those things where if it's like it's in the brain, then it works. You know, if,
Sometimes.
yeah, sometimes. So do you guys agree with those different like reds to stimulate, oranges to help heal? What do you guys think?
I don't know about the individual colors
Yeah.
and their healing powers necessarily, but there is something to this because I know for a fact that when it comes to designing, I want to say convalescent homes, retirement centers is probably the bad way to put it. But I know that there's been a lot of research for folks that have Parkinson's and Alzheimer's, that these Alzheimer's patients and Parkinson's patients view colors differently because of the way the brain is being affected by the disease. And so when designing these facilities where these people are, you know, these living centers for these folks, color plays a very important role. You would not use yellow because yellow would drive them just batty. You probably would not use orange. You would probably use lighter shades of brown. And you have to be careful as to tile patterns on the floor, because if you have like this carpet that we've got in our studios with these dark splotches, they would interpret that as ants. So I know that color plays a very important role, especially as people get older and as some of their brain functions deteriorate because of these diseases. So I think there's a lot to this. Now, as far as orange healing lungs, don't know about that.
Yeah.
Our master bedroom at my house is painted very dark blue, and I've always thought that was a cool cave, man cave kind of color. When I go in there, it's dark. Tamara likes to keep the shades pulled, and she'll have the thermostat set to morgue. It's so cold in there, but
My favorite.
the dark,
So comforting.
The dark color helps that.
Yeah.
If we painted the room a bright yellow, then you would want to keep the blinds open, have sunshine, have a little bit warmer. So yeah, color does play an important role. I do believe that.
Do you guys have a favorite color, and
Black.
why? Why?
Why? So black goes with everything. That's all my wardrobe is.
Okay.
Really, I'm head to toe black today.
Are you
but,
hot? Like
Yeah.
out in the sunshine?
I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, but I don't know. I like black. I think it goes with everything. But if I had to choose something else, it'd probably be blue. But I also
Okay.
I like brown.
Okay.
I think-
brown is very trendy right now
It is
in
very trendy.
fashion.
Yes.
Yeah. What about you, Jenna? You've got a favorite color?
I'd probably actually have to agree with you. I think black or blue. Both those colors are great. I would say probably the reason why is just because I heard a lot about my blue eyes growing up,
Mhm.
and so that's how I learned how to dress myself. I remember
Okay,
from a
yeah,
young
yeah.
age,
I think
so
that's very
I
true.
wore a lot of blue.
What about you guys in there? Favorite colors and why?
I like black as a aided color. If it's with a different color, like black and or black and scarlet, black and blue, black and white, But if I were to just choose a regular, just one color, it'd probably be blue.
Blee.
Yeah,
Yeah, you wear a lot of blue.
I do. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not today.
Yeah,
coincidentally,
surprisingly.
But yeah,
But I've seen your full blue outfit with a blue shirt and blue.
it's
blue
something to
pants.
behold, actually.
Yeah, no, it's great. I
Two
love
different
it.
shades of blue.
It
It's
works.
Such a great.
It works, honestly. Do you have a favorite color, Austin?
Probably red and white, I would say, is what
Okay.
most of my wardrobe would consist of. Black, I have a lot of black stuff, but it's mainly like shorts or like shorts and shoes. As far as like t-shirts and stuff, typically red. I'll go with red and white or red and black for most of my stuff, most of my outfits.
Okay. So it seems like a general consensus, it comes down to clothes, like what colors we wear every day. That's pretty interesting. What about you, DG? Favorite color?
Blue, and I really don't have a lot of it.
Okay.
And dark blue as opposed to this light.
Like your
shade that I'm
bedroom?
wearing. Yeah, really dark. Either navy blue or Air Force blue, but a real dark hue of blue I like.
And Perry.
Oh, yeah, and we gotta get Silas too.
Oh, yes.
My favorite color is green. I think you could tell by my green and black scooter,
Yes.
my green and black headphones, my green backpack. I'm wearing green today. However, when it comes to like bedrooms, my bedroom at home is blue, but my bedroom here in Lubbock is white because I just love the natural light and reflection. I think my favorite color, green, comes from I love nature. I think it's like, green trees, green grass. It's all beautiful and it's just like so earthy. I'm an earth sign, by the way. I'm a Taurus, so that's what makes me have that association. What about you, Silas?
I would probably say my favorite color is purple.
Ooh, that one's a fun one.
That's such like a versatile.
It's
It is
it's
very
royalty.
versatile.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
royalty. Yeah, that's another reason. But I don't know. I like the color purple.
I like that. I feel like there's that stigma that people whose favorite color is purple is like their whole life is purple, like purple wardrobe, purple everything.
You said royalty. I don't know if y'all knew, but like back in the day, like if somebody had a room in their house, more so like probably the kitchen, and it was painted green, it meant they were wealthy.
Really?
Yeah.
How far
Money.
back? Like 70s or
Like,
like?
George Washington.
Oh,
Like I went and saw his
So
house
1700s is what you're saying.
just a few years ago, And so
1999.
So when I went and saw his house, I got to tour it. Their kitchen or their dining room, was green, just like this bright green color, but it meant that you had money, like you were
Money,
wealthy. So
Fun.
right?
It's funny you mentioned this. The like people associating color with things like what we do with our clothes. But have you ever noticed that some people will take it with do it with their cars? Because
Yes.
there's some neighbors back in my hometown, and their entire family is all white vehicles. They do not have a single vehicle in a different color that they can drive on the road. Every one of their vehicles is white. And then like me and my mom gets white vehicles. I prefer red vehicles. My dad will get black. So I've noticed people when they buy cars, they'll typically choose between one of three choose between the colors of their choice. So
I think that's pretty true. Like, I think my dream car growing up was this camouflage FJ Cruiser, and of course that's green. But I
I
think
could see you in that.
yeah, it's just hard to like. I feel like it's maybe societal. I know there's reasoning behind it, but I couldn't tell you like the societal reason why most of the cars are all neutral colors. I mean, there are red and yellow cars and things like that, but mostly what you see is silver, black, and white.
my favorite thing to do when driving is seeing cars that are like pea soup green or like spicy brown mustard.
Spicy.
Spicy brown.
I
Why
have to
would
say,
they choose that color?
I don't know if Subaru introduced this. You can get on me if they didn't, but that like khaki tan color, I love it. I love that color. I think it's so cool.
you know what's funny? A coworker of mine back home actually wants to get a Dodge Charger in that like khaki tan like style color.
I think it is so cool. Especially would look cool as a Dodge Charger.
And that's another thing about color is that you see car manufacturers doing it.
Yeah, it's like trends.
with their cars. Like Dodge. When you think of a Dodge, you typically think red or black.
Mm-hmm.
When you think of a Camaro, what's the first thing you think of when you think of Camaro?
Bumblebee.
Bumblebee. What color is he? He's yellow.
Yeah.
When you
DG.
It's a generational thing because when
Yeah.
I don't think Camaro, I think Trans Am.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Trans
And
Am.
the color Trans Am is always black.
Bla-
That's
black
the
with-
color that Burt Reynolds drove in Smokey and the Bandit.
With a golden phoenix on the front.
Yeah. It's also a cultural thing.
Yeah.
If I was to ask you, because you all grew up in this country, what's the color of purity? It would be
White.
White.
okay. In Asia, it's black. In Japan, it's black. And I asked about that. I said, why is black the symbol of purity? And they said, okay, if you laid out a black anything, if you laid out a piece of black velvet cloth or a black blanket or a black towel, what's going to show up on it? Everything. And what's amazing to me is they're right. You can take a white wedding dress and it's going to have all kinds of stuff on it that you won't notice, but it will show up on black. Because anything on black is going to show up very clearly and distinctly. Lint, hair, dust, dandruff, And so that's why in their culture, black is the symbol of purity, because you have to keep it immaculately spotless, immaculately clean, because any little impurity is going to show up on it very distinctly, whereas any other color, it's going to hide. White hides a lot of dirt, but a lot of colors and the meanings or symbolism behind them are going to be cultural in a lot of ways.
Some other interesting modern applications of color psychology that I thought were pretty interesting, also from the same article I mentioned earlier, was that warm color placebo pills were reported as more effective than cool colored placebo pills.
By more effective, you just mean like higher numbers?
I guess so. I'm not sure what placebo they gave them under. Maybe it could have been like sleeping pills and they thought that they worked better. I don't know, but I thought that was pretty interesting. Because when I think of pills, I think of just like white,
White
blue.
or yellow or orange?
Yellow. Interesting.
Well, just like lighter colors.
I always think of like blue and not black. That would be scary, but things like that.
So what's the blue pill?
Oh, like the Matrix?
Well, no. What's the blue pill in reality? And if somebody would say take the blue pill, what are they taking?
Eternity.
No. Yeah, maybe.
I'm like Advil. I don't know.
For guys, what is
Yeah.
the blue pill?
It's
The
Viagra.
little blue pill is known as Viagra.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
I thought Nick was
Whoa.
joking for a second. I was like,
No.
that's raunchy, Nick.
What's the purple pill?
Eternity.
I
I'm just
don't
gonna start saying,
know.
like,
I think it's
life.
Xanax.
That's 3
I thought
And it's
Xanax was white.
Xanax is
And Zyrtec.
white.
Oh, yeah.
There's actually a lot of pharmaceutical companies spend a lot of bucks to color their pills a certain color because that's how people know them. So yeah, I think there's a lot to that. If all you're getting is a sugar pill, what difference does the color make?
Yeah.
Well, it shouldn't make any difference at all. But you just said,
Yeah.
sometimes the color does play a big role.
I love the idea of placebo. I think it is so interesting because once again, it ties into the idea of like how your brain can really affect things. They were also mentioned that blue-colored streetlights led to reduced crime, according to anecdotal evidence.
So you're walking down the street, man, I really want to commit a crime, but these LED lights, they're just so calming.
They're really telling me
I
not to
think
do
the
it.
idea is more that blue is a calming color, so maybe you're less agitated, or it's more. I sense it's streetlights would be on when it's dusk outside. You're
I
just
just picture
more,
somebody being like ready to start something. They
like
were like,
stab
"You-
someone. And be like,
you know
oh,
what?
just kidding,
Flash a blue
JK."
light at
Maybe
'em.
not today. Like,
Well,
Yeah.
actually, I think it's in Norwegian countries, they actually have blue lights in the bathroom, and it actually decreased drug use.
Wow. That's
Love
because
that.
I mean, my association of a bathroom is like pretty stark. It's like they're so bright and white, and
right?
it is kind of agitating if you think about it. Not that they would cause drug use, but
I was about to say, where are you going with this, Perry?
the other one said these next two I think are more like applicable, more understandable. Red causes greater speed and force, most associated with athletic events. So red uniforms.
So I don't know if like when you have a red vehicle, so a lot of I was a research a couple years ago, but like anyone that has a red vehicle, they're more likely to be like noticed by cops.
Yeah,
Just
my
'cause
sister got a
it's-
red car.
Nice.
You have a red car, don't you?
Me?
Yeah.
I did. I've traded it in for another red truck, and I would like to say that I have proven that theory and myth wrong because I've not been pulled over in that
Oh,
car.
I didn't say like everyone. I just said that it's more
You're-
noticeable.
yeah.
And so she was just saying like speed and stuff. And that's what I thought of was
Yeah,
they say like if you have a
cars.
red vehicle, you're gonna be more noticeable. And so if you're speeding, you're probably gonna be caught
The
on.
insurance companies have got the statistics, and they will tell you that red cars
Yeah.
result in higher traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very eye-catching color. That's one of my favorite colors to wear.
That's kind of another reason too that they say that red cars actually get in more wrecks is because
Oh.
people, their eyes are drawn to
Distracted.
it, so then they'll go towards it.
Like moths.
That,
Yeah.
I was going to
was.
say that would explain the wreck I had 2.5 years ago because this lady, I think I told my mom, I'm like, how do you miss a bright red vehicle in the middle of the day? Because this was like the wreck happened on like Christmas Eve at noon.
Yeah.
So I'm like, how do you miss that? But I think
Yeah,
you
they
may have
don't
just
miss it,
answered
they
my
go
question.
towards it.
Well, I'm also, part of me, I'm just like,
She's like, I want to crash.
maybe I'm a little crazy, but I'm afraid to have a like uniquely colored vehicle. Like sometimes you do see like a pink car or a purple car. I'm afraid to have a car that color because people will remember it. So if they see it in the parking garage at my apartment and then they see it at Market Street, they're like, oh, that person's here. Like that girl. Like
No,
I
I
don't.
totally
Yeah.
get what you- I know
It,
what
like
you
it's like a
mean.
little disturbing to me. I don't
Yeah.
like want people to know things. Like keep tabs on me like that. The last one was also uniform related. Black uniforms are more likely to receive more penalties. Like in sports, students said that black was associated with negative qualities with a player wearing a black uniform, according to a study that looked at historical data for sports teams and their uniforms. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I don't know why.
What is the history of, out of all the sports, at least in America, like what is the most common color?
I can Google it.
Even from like when the sports were first.
I would have to say white.
Yeah, I would think it's more lighter colors.
I would have to say white because because of just like your away jerseys. Most now they're kind of or basketball and baseball and some other sports you kind of get leeways with alternate jerseys. But for a while there, most of it was typically white. When you went away, you were wearing a white jersey with like the numbers and your name, and like the logo in your school color.
Okay, I found an article on GameBibs.com, which is the 5 most popular color schemes in sports. But, take this with a grain of salt. It's just one article. But it says the number 1 is black and yellow. I don't, because it referring to
Isn't
most
that
of
a
the
song?
Pittsburgh's teams.
Yeah, that is a song. Yeah.
Black and yellow.
Black and yellow. Yeah, I think that's funny. My sister's high school is black and yellow. And then the next one is navy and yellow. The third one's blue and green. Then red and gray. And the fifth one is black and silver. So
basically, the first one is the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the last one is the they're called the Las Vegas Raiders now, but they were at one point called the Oakland Raiders, or the Los Angeles Raiders. So that's basically what I got from that. And then the second one was Navy.
Well, I think this is all pretty, like, color psychology is pretty interesting, too. Along with sports teams, I'm sure in advertising they talk about it as well.
Yeah, I was
And,
about to say, like consumerism
yeah,
definitely impacts.
they color, like, certain products a certain way and lay them out on shelves a certain way, all to appeal to those psychological
Every time.
benefits.
DG.
Going... So another thing about uniforms I think is pretty interesting is I love fashion. So
Yes.
although I'm not super into sports, I'll look at their uniforms and I'm like,
what is that?
I don't know how to feel about that. So I think it's super interesting because I've always hated the Dallas Cowboys silver and navy blue. I hate it. I think it is so
I'm
ugly.
tempted to mute your mic for saying that. That is just that is a disgrace.
It is so ugly. I'm trying to think what other sports teams do I know? I don't know. I mean, there's the classic. I think the Rangers are like red, white, and blue. That's classic. I don't know too many. Okay.
As your resident sports fanatic, I say over here, with football, you look at Pittsburgh Steelers, Dallas Cowboys, or Oakland Raiders. Those I would think would be or Green Bay Packers. Those are your, I'd say, top 4 like classic style jerseys. Baseball, Yankees, Red Sox, Rangers, White Sox. What else is there? Basketball, the LA Lakers, the Boston
Ooh,
Celtics.
The Lakers are purple, right?
Golden,
Yeah, nice.
golden purple, or yellow and purple,
Nice.
one of the two.
I like those. They're fun.
So
Okay. So I guess to wrap things up in a neat little bow, to put it plain and simple, verywellmind.com referred to it as our feelings about color are often deeply personal and rooted in our own experience or culture. And I feel like that's really kind of what it comes down to, especially today, talking about our own experiences from why we associate different colors with different things. But the last thing I wanted to touch on today was during our research, our my research,
Perry's
our
research.
collective research, a term kept appearing called synesthesia. Are you guys familiar with that?
I've heard
I don't
but
think I've
do
heard
not know
that.
what it
I
means.
am.
All right. Yes, I think Silas has a little story for us once I introduce this a little bit. But synesthesia is a neurological condition. According to dictionary.com, it is defined as a sensation produced in one modality when a stimulus is applied to another modality. For instance, hearing a certain sound induces a visualization of a certain color. It is classified as a neurological condition. About 2 to 4% of the population has this condition. And now it's like a little bit different than what we're talking about with just plain color association, since it kind of crosses over senses. I think the best example I read was on healthline.com, where it said every time you bite into a food, you would also feel a geometric shape, such as round, square, circle, which I thought was very interesting because I've heard the classic example from synesthesia as you hear a song and that song is blue to you or that song is purple. But I think that definition of like, oh, you bite into a food, but it feels like a shape is one of the perfect examples of what this really is. It can be genetically inherited or it can develop later on in your lifetime, but most often appears in early childhood. Illicit substances like drugs can also temporarily evoke this effect, and certain stimulants like caffeine have shown signs of temporary synesthesia. So, interesting.
Yes,
Yeah.
very interesting.
But Silas, I think you have something to share about synesthesia, if you'd like to.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. So both my mom and my younger sister have it, and it's kind of like honestly, from my perspective, it's kind of weird hearing them talk about it because I don't have it. So, like my mom, she has like days of the week and months all have like specific colors, and then also every shape has like specific meanings. It's very interesting.
Sounds like it. Or do you ever get like a little bit jealous?
I mean, I feel like it would be pretty cool to like just have different associations with that kind of stuff. Yeah, I feel like that would be super cool and like unique way of seeing the world.
Yeah. Does she ever try to explain it, or it's just like an innate feeling in her mind?
Like it's innate. She has like tried to explain it, but honestly, it's like so abstract to me that I can't really wrap my head around it. So
It for sure sounds like it. Do you guys know anybody with synesthesia?
Not that I know of.
The closest thing I can think of is like eating a sandwich and getting the corner piece, and I guess or like eating a Dorito chip. It's like
Okay.
you could. I mean, you can send. You know that it's definitely a shape, but yeah, I don't know anybody that like correlates it with a specific color or something like that.
So if Doritos were circles instead of triangles,
Tortillas.
do you think
Tortilla
do you think that would affect the taste of a Dorito?
No,
Or- I think it could. Like psychologically, I think it could.
if you think about it, maybe, but I think it.
So we're choosing not to think about it.
Just eat it.
Not this
Don't
is
think.
theoretical.
Here's what I have to debunk your theory that if you have a circle Dorito versus a triangle, I feel like it would taste the same no matter what. Because if anyone has tried Taco Bell's Locos Tacos, the Dorito flavors, you can clearly tell it's a Dorito. So
It aren't M&Ms? Isn't this a similar thing, like at different colors,
No.
but don't they all just taste?
Oh, I thought you were going to
Exactly
talk
the
about
same.
like mini M&Ms versus regular
No.
M&Ms, and that is the shell to chocolate ratio that makes mini M&Ms better.
Yes.
Yes.
I was just talking
I
about the
taste
color.
no. I'll be honest. I taste no difference in either.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think because people were saying like, oh man, the red ones are much better, or the blue ones, but I think it's all just sugar.
I had that issue with thumbprints. A former student that worked here a long time ago worked in the bakery department at United, and I was like, oh man, my favorite cookie is the thumbprints. You know, it's the big vanilla thick cookie with a big glob of colored icing on top. And I said, yeah, the red, white, and blue ones are my favorite. I love the red ones because they taste like cherry, and the blue ones taste like blueberry. And she's like, they're not flavored. I'm like, yeah, they are. And she's like, no, they're not.
Yeah.
And I swore that the color of the icing determined the flavor to me.
Yeah.
It's like the
So-
seasonal sugar cookies. You know what
Yeah.
I'm talking about? Like
Yeah,
on 4th
sprinkle-
of July, they just, I don't know, they taste more American. I don't know.
All that sugar.
America.
Well, I think it's also, I mean, it kind of comes into play, like for Skittles, for instance. You know, it's like you can count on those Skittles being certain flavors.
Right.
But do you remember when the green Skittle used to be lime instead of green apple?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was the other way around. I thought it used to be green apple, and then they changed it to lime.
I think it's lime to green apple because I was such a lime fan, and I am not a fan of green apple. I think that is a doo-doo flavor. And the same goes for blue raspberry. I love blue raspberry, but where did that come from?
Do you still eat Skittles, or have you
Well, I looked up.
erased that part of your life?
I was gonna say, are you one of those people that says like, I don't like the green one, so you separate the green ones out of it?
I do. You give them away to someone.
Yeah, my wife does the same thing.
Yes.
We'll buy like a 5-pound bag of these things, and I'm like, why are there so many green here at the bottom? It's because she picks like the red and the yellow ones out and the orange ones. And
Well, like when Skittles released the all white ones. Do you remember that?
Mystery.
It's like
The
I
mystery
feel like
flavors.
that totally changes the flavor because you no longer know what to expect when going in. I think. Wait, isn't it all Fruit Loops are the same flavor?
Probably.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, anyway, we're
Yeah,
sidetracked.
we're good.
But I looked up why they changed the flavor of the green Skittle. And apparently it was because the lime Skittle was too close in flavor to the lemon Skittle. And when they did product testing, the green apple tested better. Like more people liked it than the lime one, which is disappointing.
Yeah, but okay, as someone who's worked in a restaurant and has not only cut but also like tasted lime and lemon, I mean they are close in the same because they're from that citrus family, so
Yeah.
they're gonna be close no matter what you do with it. It's just which is your preference, lime or lemon.
I like both. They should. I'll write a strongly worded letter.
There you
Though
go.
someone in the comments literally said, "Bleep green apple Skittles." If you want to fill in the blank there,
Yes.
I
love.
agree.
The bleep was I love.
Yeah,
Green apple
I
Skittles.
love them because they commented it's annoying when you pop a handful of Skittles because the green apple
Pop a
doesn't
handful of Skittles.
because the green apple doesn't meld with the rest of the flavors. But anyways,
So
Yeah.
on that point alone that you just mentioned there, how many of you buy the various flavors of Pringles and try to mix and match the flavors to get
I
that?
have not. That's what they recommend, but I've never
Really?
done that.
I
Yeah.
haven't either, because I mean, does that really work? Can you get regular Pringles and then
The pizza or
the
whatever.
nacho Pringles, the pizza Pringles, the jalapeno, and mix and match them and actually have those flavors burst in your mouth?
I actually want to try that now. Like that actually, I don't know why, but
But I think if anybody like corners the flavor game, it has to be Jelly Belly.
That's what I was
Yeah.
gonna say. Yeah.
With they have the nasty, like I don't even know how
The-
The
they.
game.
the game.
I try to avoid the nasty ones as much as I can, but I for sure remember the toothpaste one tasted like toothpaste.
Oh, I love the toothpaste one.
Well, they had.
Yummy.
Didn't they have a whole? So Jelly Belly did the Harry Potter series
Yeah.
and the earwax and the
Yeah.
coffee. What was the others? Dirt.
Bean
Dirty
Boozled.
Socks.
Yeah.
It's like Mrs. Burt's
I was about to
every
say-
flavor bean or
Yeah,
something.
exactly.
Don't look at me when that. From that
I don't care what flavor green is as long as it's not watermelon. I absolutely
Really?
hate watermelon. Yeah, I
Well,
cannot stand.
artificial watermelon tastes different than
Yeah.
real
Well,
watermelon.
Just
that's
like grape.
True. That's
Yeah.
true. But I cannot.
Listen.
I cannot stand watermelon flavored anything. So.
I'm not a big fan of cherry flavored stuff.
Really.
But I love my favorite, and I know it is nasty. I know people are gonna doo-doo on me for it. My favorite flavor is grape.
No.
No,
Yes.
Yeah.
I hate
Yes.
grape.
You were right.
Grape is disgusting.
I agree with Perry.
Like anytime I get a snow cone, grape. It's the only like most times when it's sweets like that, I can't really finish the whole thing. But if it's grape, I will. I love it.
Agree.
See,
the
here's my-
reason that I hate grape is because it tastes so much like the liquid Tylenol you took as a kid, and it's
What's wrong with
disgusting.
liquid Tylenol?
It's
Exactly.
purple. Grape is purple. Your favorite color.
You should like it.
That happened to me actually. I had an endoscopy done when I was younger, and when I was coming off the anesthesia, they're like, "What's your favorite color?" And I was like, "Green." So they got me a stupid green apple popsicle, and I'm like, "That's not how that works. Like, your favorite color is not your favorite flavor." Anyways,
Yes.
I was so frustrated because I'm kind of like drugged up a
Write
little
them a
bit, and
strong
I'm
letter,
like,
too, be
green
like-
apple. Anyways. Just warning you guys, if they ask you that question when you come off of anesthesia,
Why?
answer your favorite flavor.
Yes.
That'd be crazy. Anyways,
Oh
That's-
my gosh, was
but I do think should I Google where blue raspberry came from?
yeah. Please do because I'm curious on that one.
Also, it always messes me up that raspberry has a P in it. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
raspberry.
Raspberry.
Blue raspberry. Where does it come from? Are you supposed to pronunciate the P? Raspberry.
I don't think so.
No,
Then why is it there, Nick?
You act like they came up with the word.
It's like
Because English
Rasputin.
is stupid.
I think, don't a lot of companies do the RAZZ, the raspberry,
Ooh,
or blue
yeah,
raz.
like razzmatazz at Jamba Juice.
Yeah, just like that.
Just like that, yeah. Okay, let's see. This article from themanual.com says, strangely enough, there's actually something similar to blue raspberry in nature, also known as a white bark raspberry. The plant exists in the west of the Rockies and North America from Alaska to New Mexico, but is a relatively rare species that produces the berry that is sometimes blue, sometimes purple, and sometimes in between. The concept is invented to capture your attention and imagination. It has become a fixture in the sweet realm, especially when injected into Slurpees, ice cream, candies, and gummy treats.
Nice.
There you go.
So we should take a trip.
The
See
market-
if we
I
can go
think
find
the-
one.
I think the marketing team deserves an A+ for that one.
Oh, yeah. Because, like, if I go get a Slurpee, that's my number one flavor.
Blue raspberry.
Blue raspberry.
Yeah.
Blue
Or
raspberry.
white.
I get
bark
mad when
oak
they
or
don't
whatever.
have it. You know, because, like, okay, I'm not a fan of, like, Coke Slurpees or, you know what I'm talking about? So whenever I go in there and I see, like, a soda Slurpee and they don't have blue raspberry, I'm like, give the people what they want, you know? Or I hate when they have, like, some ambiguous flavor. They're like,
Yeah.
Insert flavor here.
I wanted to be like Hawaiian Punch, but I'm like, we all know what Hawaiian Punch is like. So it's just like some, like,
For your
What
information,
is
beach day
what is-
flavor.
Right.
I'm trying to think of what color an ambiguous flavor is. It gray? It just comes
Yeah.
out of the. Here's a
Ew.
gray
Well, I've
slushy.
seen some that are like a
Enjoy.
light yellow, and I'm like, what is that?
I feel like Bahama
Yeah, there's
Bucks
some
with, like,
colors-
the birthday cake ones, and,
Oh,
it ends
dude.
up being like this awkward looking tannish color.
I have to doo-doo once again. I hate birthday cake flavor and cotton candy flavor. Like, if you're eating a sweet in the form of another sweet, why?
Okay,
the sweet
Because
cancels
you
out.
can.
It just makes me so upset.
all right, but so like getting back to color though, what?
Oh, yeah.
How do you determine the cake flavor color? Like a lot of people put blue, like at Brahms, they do blue for
Yeah,
birthday
okay,
cake.
that's true.
But then at snow cone places, they do like this weird tan color, and then other places they do pink. There's no like solid
Yeah.
association
Is
of a
that
birthday
the
cake
ambiguous
color.
color?
well,
Birthday
I feel
cake?
like
Maybe it is.
tan is a very, very interesting color. Like, I get why they would choose it because cake is usually like a yellow or a brown, but I feel like
Brown
it's so
cake.
unappetizing to have a tan snow cone.
Tan snow cone.
Like, I was like, yeah. Anyway,
See,
Yeah, but what about a yellow snow cone?
Yeah, you got to eat
Yummy.
those. They're free.
Banana flavor,
Yum.
lemon.
Oh,
pineapple flavor.
you don't remember Monsters Inc.?
I do.
Oh, look, we're all out of yellow snow cones. I'm going to go make more. What?
Yikes.
They hurt his feelings by not eating any of
Right.
this,
See,
but I don't blame
see,
them.
it's funny you mentioned the tan color because, like, for me, when it comes to like snow cones or slushies or like ices, whenever I see tan, I immediately think soda and Coca and like
Yeah.
Coca-Cola flavor because that's what I grew up on. You'd after a soccer game or whatever, you'd go to the gas station, get big old thing of big icy about like that big, and have a Coke flavored.
Get a brain freeze headache
Yeah.
trying to down it.
Yeah.
You know, you'd suck it and go, oh, that hurts.
Yeah,
so
you know
bad.
what my dad
Dumb it,
did.
dumb
You know what my dad did to help cure that. He basically got a large Coke icy, put Jack in it.
That's one way to do it. Anyways,
That's how he cured
Yeah.
the headaches.
I would cure, but you put your thumb at the roof of your
Yeah.
mouth and try to. I'm horrible for brain freezes. I get them all the time.
See that the real whole thumb at the roof of the mouth thing that never worked for
You
me.
can do your tongue too. Potato.
That doesn't work for me either.
Yeah. Anyways.
Anyway,
That's
I don't know how we ended up here.
No, I
but-
love it though. I wanted a good tangent because
Yeah.
I when we're passionate about it, you know, if the conversation's good, you keep going. Am I right?
You're
That's right.
probably wondering how we got here.
Well, I'm glad they could join us. Do we have any closing thoughts on colors, ice cream flavors, blue raspberry?
Blue
Do you
raspberry.
say the P? Do you not say the P?
I think our next show should just be Perry. You
Just
telling us
pronunciations.
everything that you just makes you upset.
Oh, I can start right now.
Okay.
Crumbs. Crumbs are one of my biggest pet peeves, and I mean they're inevitable. But when you go out to eat and you get crumbs all in the booth, and you're like wearing shorts or a dress, and they just like stick to you, nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, what are y'all's pet peeves? Okay, that was our show for color for today. If anybody has any closing remarks, Is any color better than the rest of them? Who knows? They'll duke it out maybe next. There's a guy actually who races marbles on TikTok. If y'all have seen that, he does colored. I'll suggest that idea for him. But thank you so much for tuning in to Pod Dammit today. It was very crazy, but I had a great time. I hope you guys did too. I'm Perry Jacobs.
I'm Caitlin.
Jenna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Nick.
Austin.
Thank
GG.
you.
And
Nick, you
Silas
sounded
in the booth.
confused.
Sorry, my brain was unplugged. Plugging it back in. Zzz. Anyways, thanks for joining the show today. I thought it was great. You can join us here from 2 to 3 on Friday for Pod Dammit number 2 of the week, taking place 2 to 3. I probably won't be the host of that one. I'm hoping somebody else will want to jump in with a little secret subject, so stay tuned for a surprise on Friday. But other than that, we will catch you guys then. Stay tuned to KTXT for the rest of our shows this week. You can check out our schedule just put out today of our summer schedule. All right. Signing off.
Bye, guys. He just cut you off.